Eric, take me back to the beginning, first of all. Do you remember your first time in the gym to start boxing?
Yes, I was 13 years old when I started boxing back in Armenia, and I fell in love with the sport. But when I started, I did it just for fun because I liked fighting and stuff like that. And but I had like talent, so it went very fast and well.
How quickly did you realize you was good at boxing?
In like after like 2 months, I was like doing really good, so I started training every day. I asked my coach if I can come every day, so he said yes, and I was excited. And 4 5 months later, I did my first competition.
Did you win?
And no, first one I lost.
Talk to me about in Armenia. What is boxing? What are the gyms like over in Armenia?
It's very good. It's like Russian style Soviet Union. They concentrate on base and what's like basics. And it's I find it's very good because in boxing you need technique first, and stuff. And you see all the Soviet Union fighters like from Russia, Uzbekistan, like Kazakhstan. They're pretty good because they concentrate on techniques like a lot, and you need that for the beginning, and the rest comes after, like conditioning and stuff like that.
When you say sort of Soviet Union and Russian fighting and things, I always think of Bivol or Beterbiev, and I always think of training over there to be very regimented, almost army-like, very disciplined. Is that how it is?
Yes, yes, it's very disciplined, but still, a fighter has to, at the end of the day, be disciplined because they don't know what you do in the streets, But usually, over there, when you're doing good, you're doing competitions, and you go on a team, national team, so it becomes your life, You don't do such as things on the side.
You mentioned you started boxing because you liked fighting. Was you in a lot of fights before you started in the streets or in school? Was you always in trouble?
No, I wasn't in trouble, but like over there, the life is different. You every day on the streets, you fight, stuff like that. But I loved fighting. I tried many sports. Like few months, I did kickboxing. I did like 3 4 years karate. I danced for 7 years since I was young. It helped my footwork. And but then everything I did, I stopped after. But boxing, like I knew it's my thing. I loved it.
What sort of dance did you do?
Sorry, what?
What sort of dancing was it you done?
Yeah, well, it was like I was learning very fast, and I had like a talent. My coaches were saying I was feeling. It was going very smooth and fast, and I started winning. And when you win always, you'll be good. So why not to try? Then I
Absolutely.
was 16 years old. We moved to Canada, and I continued here. I did national Golden Gloves. I was in Team Quebec. We went like some international competitions outside of the country, and then in that year, I think they 2 year that year they didn't. Canada didn't participate on Olympic Games. I don't know why they don't do like nationals and stuff like that. I don't know, it's because of the helmets or something. Yeah, I don't remember. There was a problem, and so I decided to turn professional when I was 18. I liked always new things in my life, so it was nice.
Ask why did you move to Canada?
With my family to have a better future for me and my brother, because there was army in Armenia. It's mandatory to go for 2 years, and so it was better future here. So came here.
Absolutely. You mentioned there, obviously, you turned professional at 18, a very young age.
Yes.
For you, looking back now, any regrets on not staying amateur longer, or you're happy you turned professional at a young age?
No, there was no regrets because at a certain point, I was doing good. I had like 100 something fights, and in Canada, like amateur boxing for me is not that good, you know. Why I say that? Because they're in part, like in Europe is different. Like in Armenia, they go every month, every 2 months they go Europe to competitions, international, like a lot of competitions. So you learn a lot of you get a lot of fights, learn a lot of experience, you know. But here it's too much here, and I was fighting here. I had like 37 fights or 40 fights, and I was always fighting in competitions like with the same guys. You know, I was just tired of it. There was no like future for me to wait 3 4 years to go to Olympics to try. You know, what if it wouldn't work? You know. So and I was doing good in that gym I used to train, Grant Brothers Boxing Gym with Otis Grant, and I was training with them. There was a lot of professional boxers and UFC fighters, you know, such as uh, what was his name? Like Patrick Cote, like Romak Gorilla, you know. And so there was a lot of fighters, UFC too. I was like, I don't want to be arrogant, but I was like doing better than them. I was beating up, you know, some guys, professionals, so they were all very impressed that I had talent, and I was like 17 years old, you know. So when I was 18, I just turned professional.
Well, you had a lot of amateur fights, as you mentioned, 109 fights, 108 wins, and one loss, according to your Wikipedia page. Is that correct, first of all?
Yes, yes. But I had many fights. I thought maybe I lost. It was close, you know. But it's amateur, you know. It's just the experience. So
It's a
yeah.
lot of fights what, about 5 years as an amateur from, say, 13 to 18 when you first started there in the gym. So it's not a lot of time. How often were you fighting as an amateur?
Yeah, like in Armenia, there is a lot of competitions, and we used to do 3 4 fights, every competitions. You know, there is not like in Canada. It was like galas too. Like they do like a show, just one fight. You know, it's like a professional style. But there is not just one fight. You know, it was like 3 4 fights. It was like every month, every 2 months. You know, a lot of fights. Like even sometimes there was like two competitions in 1 month. We used to do. We used to go like Georgia, like Russia, with the team of Armenia, and we used to do there too. You know,
What's the most amount of fights you had in one day, for example? Or in a sh
amount of fights in 1 day.
Yeah, what's the most amount of fights you had in one day or 2 days?
Like 1 day you do one fight.
You just won, yeah. So
Yeah.
would it be each day in a tournament and competition? Would you fight 3 or 4 days in a row, or
Yes, 4 days max. Like 3 4 days usually, Thursday to Sunday or Friday to Sunday.
talk to me about you turning professional, 18 years old. You started as a light heavyweight, come down to super middleweight. So I want to talk about that move down in weight. For you, how much benefit have you seen in dropping the weight?
Yeah, like I was a baby, you know. I had some baby fat, and there I didn't have much muscle, and so it was. I think I did like probably make 6 7 fights, 175. Then I moved down to 168, and it was pretty easy. And for my height, it was a good weight, you know. I'm 6.5, 6'1", and it was good. And I calculate, and I started learning. I became mature, you know, with the experience, how to cut weight, this, that. It was pretty easy.
Let's also talk about your next fight, Steven Butler, that is coming up. This is a fight that was postponed. It was meant to be happen a little while ago, and it's been rescheduled. Just talk to me about that process of having a fight rescheduled and postponed whilst you're already in camp, having to stop camp, start again, peak at the right time. Is that difficult, frustrating? What's that like for you?
Well, it's all in mental, you know, it is what it is. Sometimes in life, some things happen you can't control. I had an injury, and we had to postpone. So we did it, and we just came back to training sessions, and we are on track now.
No.
It's okay.
This fight, was it because you're both with Eye of the Tiger? Was it an easy fight to make?
Yeah, very easy fight. That's why they made, and especially they said after my last fight with Jamie Munguia, it was like I couldn't fight a comeback fight against like a shit Mexican fighter, or to bring just an opponent to beat him up and stand back. To just get back on track. So this was a perfect, easy fight. We were from the same city. We sparred like 100 times together, and his career was kind of finished. He lost like 5 fights by knockout. So he just wants to continue. So it's a good opportunity for him. But and for me, it's a good comeback fight. And but I take it seriously. Because he can hit. He's very heavy handed. But it's a good fight for me to come back after a loss, and he fought twice for world titles, so it's a decent fight, to win and get back on good rankings and to get another big fight soon, hopefully this year.
Now, you mentioned you sparred Steven Butler hundreds of rounds. Do you feel that gives either one of you an edge in advantage?
Well, advantage is I think that you are more like relaxed, that the guy's style. You like because when you haven't sparred your opponent or something, you are a bit anxious. Oh, if everything's gonna go well, this that. But like this, you are more relaxed. You know him. You know what he's gonna try to do. Maybe he's gonna do something else, but what I mean is, you know him.
And how were the spars with Steven? Did you get the better of him each time? Was there anything that he surprised you with? Anything that you feel that going into this fight, actually, I've got this, I'm comfortable with this?
No, like, because every sparring session is different, but we helped each other. He helped me for one of my fights. I helped him few fights, but so we just worked together, and I can say like he got better, I got better. But where am I? What abilities I have, I know in myself, and I'm never arrogant to say, "Oh, I'm better than him." This, that. You have to be humble, and I know what people know what I can do, and hopefully it's gonna go on my side.
I just want to talk about the Mongaya fight last, your first professional defeat. Just talk to me about the emotions you felt after that. How upsetting was it to lose your first pro fight?
Yeah, it was very tough, but at the same time, I was happy because I did a great performance. I was even up on scorecard, like not official scorecards, but when I count, I was doing the scorecards when I watched many times. All the people, they said they had me up on scorecards, like by 1 round or 2 rounds, or it was even sometimes. So I won. A lot of people were doubting me, so it's good to. I felt well that I even won rounds, that some people that weren't thinking that I was gonna pass 3, 4 rounds with him. So I made it very tough fight for him. I made him frustrated, but it's boxing, he had more experience. It was my first big fight. He had like maybe 10 fights like that, even more. And experience made a big role in that. And also, like it's boxing, you one punch change there. I got cut with the left hook, and he threw many punches. I got dizzy, and you know what's happening. Like when I got up, it was too late. Maybe it's good it happened in that way, because if the fight continued, maybe I was gonna get knocked out. And
What did you learn the most from that defeat?
I learned that what's like in world. world championship level is. That they have to work more, and it's a whole different experience. You know, the you are the main event on a big show, like 15,000 people, all booing, not booing, but cheering for the another guy, and it was a real tough, real fight. You know, and it's it's experience that you can't describe.
And just finally, Eric, talk to me about the future. Not looking past Steven Butler, but for you, your ambition, of course, is to become a world champion. But for the rest of 2025, going into 2026, what do you hope for? How active do you want to be? How many fights are you looking for? And how long till you're back at the world level?
Well, I don't know about how many fights because sometimes it's tough to make deals, you know. But I'm looking forward to win this fight first, and we'll see what's coming next. For sure, all the world they saw my abilities and what I can do in that level. So I'm 100% sure that I'll get like a lot of good phone calls that make sense, and I'll get up in rankings in top five, and hopefully we'll get another good shot, you know, to win, and maybe after to get a world title shot. So I'm just gonna work hard because I'm turning 30 years old in May this month, so you don't have much time left. We have to push, you know.
Absolutely. And just finally, is there anybody who you've got your eyes on? Anybody that you would like to fight? Anyone who you feel that your style would gel well with?
I got offered many times to fight Berlanga, but they didn't want. They made like things going on. I know I can beat him because I have the boxing, all the tools to beat him because I'm a smart fighter. I have a good boxing IQ. Usually, I have never been a guy to call out people or something like that, but anyone, you know, I will fight anyone in this stage because in boxing you can lose to anybody, to a bum, you know. So it's better to fight top, to take risks and to fight like a world champion or a number two, number three guy, you know, make or big name like Caleb Plant or Charlo, anyone. I'm down to do it. I know I can beat Charlo too.
Is it frustrating when you mentioned that you've been offered Berlanga and you see Berlanga headlining events and big promotions? Is it frustrating when he's not fighting you when you've essentially said, yes, I'm ready?
Sorry, what?
Is it frustrating when people like Berlanga, who you've been offered to fight, you've said yes on your end, but then their team don't go ahead with it? Is it frustrating for you to not get a big fight like that?
Well, I think they it's boxing is very dirty business. People they try to go promoters to do things like that, but I'm in good hands with the Tiger with Camille. So they he protects us, he protects me. So and we are not gonna go to fight someone if it's not a good deal or you know or it's not we don't have rights in the contracts, you know. But at the same time, Berlanga he wanted to fight big fights, so he fought Canelo eventually. He's known, he's popular, you know. I'm happy for him. I've never been a hater, you know. But if it comes down to fighting him, I'm always ready to fight anyone in this stage because my last fight I felt that I've got everything to fight these guys. Like I've got the guts, I've got the skills, everything. So and the TV liked me, so let's do it.
How close has that Berlanga fight been? Has it ever been a concrete offer, a contract to you guys at all, or
Sorry, what? I didn't
how,
hear.
how close has the Berlanga fight actually come to being happening? Have they ever sent you a contract? Has there been figures, offers made?
No, no, no. So there was figures and stuff like that, but there was like problems with dates, this, that, and in the beginning, like their side, they didn't want. We wanted the fight, and I guess I don't know, but I don't have some other details actually.
Like I said, it's the business of boxing. Uh,
Yeah.
Absolutely. Eric, thank you very much for your time. I really appreciate it. It's been a pleasure speaking to you. And
Thank you for your time too, thinking of me and doing an interview with me. So hopefully we'll see you soon one day.